So Tiger Woods had some run-ins. I believe, I could be wrong about this. This is not the point of the thing. He had a car accident. He was doing 40 over. He may or may not have been on prescription meds at the time.
This is recent?
I think so. Like the news of it, I don't know if it leaked recently.
Okay.
The facts of the state of the don't really matter. Just the idea that we've said it several times, but it helps me to see that greatness doesn't prevent sadness. Like the dude is the greatest. He was amazing for such a long period of time. Over $1 billion, potentially even after a divorce, which is incredible because she took like $600 to $800 million.
I think it's the opposite often. I actually think often what fuels greatness is pain.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Tiger Woods' case, but with Jordan at least, the reason he was so great is because he didn't feel like his dad. I mean, this is just from a documentary. I've never met him, but like his dad didn't love him, and he had to earn his dad's love by being good at basketball.
And he got angry all the time about,
He punched a teammate in the face.
Yeah.
Punched Steve, and by the way, this isn't like he punched Scottie Pippen in the face. Punched Steve Kerr in the face.
Yeah.
Like, pick the smallest dude. It's not like when Kobe punched Shaq in the face. That's like, all right, dude, you kind of respect that. I don't know what it was for, but that's ballsy at least. Punching Steve Kerr's like my size.
Yeah. But yeah, just a reminder. It's like, man, because there's a time, and not like I never really want to be good at golf, but whoever we've talked about Avicii. I've thought, man, if I had that musical talent, like
music. Dude, so many famous musicians
ridiculously talented
come out of pain.
Yeah, all the comedians, all the musicians. Like it's just, man. I guess you're right. Not only is greatness not preventative, which to me just kind of leaves me in a comfortable way, a little bit rudderless when it comes to goals. Because it's like, why would I want to be great when when this is what awaits me? But also, I guess is oftentimes the engine of greatness is oftentimes pain.
Yeah.
In fact, rarely not, I think is the way to.
I think it's fair to say that I've had some successes that you got to go, top 1% or 0.1%. They're all motivated by either insecurity or fear of failure or pain from something in my past. You know, there's not yet been one that was just inspired by pure carrot chasing.
Sure. And there are people like we talked about Sri Ramana who like went to the monastery and people kind of followed and became a great sage and, lived in a loincloth.
Oh, I was just saying for my own life, if I look at it, it mirrors the Michael Jordan in the sense it's like, all my good stuff came from bad emotions.
Yeah. I've said this in the past. I was like, look, I haven't posted on Instagram and I might do a charity post once a year or something to raise a little bit of funds, but also I get a social pat on the back from that, which feels good. Mm-hmm. The more you see me on those things, and there will come a time, just know send me some virtual hugs.
Things are bad.
Things are bad when you see me like sharing more. And probably that'll always be the case. Like, cause I've thought it's like, I've learned the solo to Gravity by John Mayer, which is, I'm not great at it. It's a very hard solo for me. But I can play it passably well. I was like, I should put it on. It's like, or I could just play it and not set up the camera. Yeah. Like the day that I post it will not be the day that I've perfected it. It'll be the day that I need
validation,
something to come in. So it'll be up there. I'm working on it. But that's what I've got today.
Nice. I just have one thing. Our pescatarian diet is going to be ruined.
Oh no.
I'll just read you the headline first. Japan says sorry, but has to dump this radioactive water into the ocean. Japanese Prime Minister says the government has put off figuring out what to do with the contaminated water building up at the destroyed Fukushima nuclear power plant for long enough, and it's going to dump it into the ocean.
Cool.
So we're going to need a new diet.
No, that can't be real. I mean, that's such a cheeky headline. Sorry.
Yeah. I just thought it was I have no takeaway from it. The more interesting is just that shit like this is happening all the time and we know nothing about it.
Yeah. Tragedy of the commons, man. People do not poop in their own owned cars. You know what I mean? Like, no, probably not in rental cars because that's gross. But like, if it's a rental, you treat it one way, and that's still like there's some ownership over it. But yeah, man, if it's the park or if it's the ocean, like, yeah, people just don't treat it nearly as well, man.
Just keep an eye out for some double-headed salmon.
Great. There's also I avoided it because it had the same name as Cowspiracy, which was I saw Seaspiracy on Netflix and I was like, I'm interested. I want to dive into this, but man, if you mirror the name of Cowspiracy, which for those of you who doesn't know is one of the most persuasive things for many people to go vegan, but was framed in a very dishonest way where the filmmaker pretended to be on this discovery journey, and really the filmmaker had been very vegan activist for a long time and created a false narrative.
It's actually a shame. I don't trust any
persuasion.
documentaries anymore, because I've seen like 2 that fall into that camp.
Yeah.
And to me, they're kind of like reality TV at this point. It's a shame, because there's a lot of really interesting looking ones on Netflix. And I go, why would this be true?
Yeah.
Look, why would this possibly be true? This is going to be cherry picked facts, and it's going to.
Some of it. Here's what I think. Here's why I was like, look, if I get attached to any of the statistics, it's going to be a lie. But there might be a broad truth, which is like, look, when you get fish out of the ocean, you got to kill a whole lot of other stuff. You know, there might be some other things that I could find persuasive or moving, but I would have to.
I'm just saying, even if they say that in a documentary, it doesn't make it true.
Yes, but what I could believe is like, that makes sense. You know, that if we're doing things cheaply, like I kind of do.
Well, yeah, but Cowspiracy has all sorts of things like that make sense and are completely untrue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one thing that I remember is that they unfairly. This is only the one piece. They talk about what creates the most greenhouse gases, and they use the entire meat industry and compare it to just tailpipe emissions from cars, and then say, and then they compare those two and say, oh my gosh, cows are so bad. It's like, wait a second. You used the entire lifespan of getting a burger,
moving the cows and moving the water to feed the cows,
and then only the tailpipes, and then the title of it is cows are more or nearly as much as.
Which is to say, you should have done the gas used to move car parts and to run car factories and everything you did for. Which, and by the way, I'm not eating cows.
Yeah,
like I don't eat cows. I just think this is
just makes me not trust you.
It's a dishonest documentary.
I know I can't trust you because you are invested in changing my mind. You're not invested in telling the truth, which is a bummer. And it's like, because what's funny is that person who made it might have told the truth 95% of the time. But if I find one thing, I just got to go, well, now what do I do? This is a problem that we've had in hiring. It's like, look, if we're looking at any ad copy or anything like that, I want to, with everyone in the company, be like, I trust you, do your own thing. But if I review a piece of work and I don't see a mistake, I see something that is factually untrue. Like you say that it's guaranteed to do X, Y, and Z, and it is not guaranteed under those things. Then I go, oh gosh, now I have to scrutinize every single line of what you say, and having you help is no longer help because I have to have final say on every single period, comma, and apostrophe. So yeah, try to tell a truth documentary, guys. And unfortunately, I suspect that I could learn a lot from both Seaspiracy and Cowspiracy people. And I don't know that the Seaspiracy guy is the same. He might have just picked up on the name, you know. But it was a slight turnoff to me to see that. Anything else you got? Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.